I have a way to once and for all prove whether the Earth is flat or not. I'll explain it all. Coming up. Hey 7-4 crew, welcome back. If you don't know me, my name's Kelsi. I'm a 747 pilot. My channel 7-4 Gear is all about aviation. I get asked almost on a daily basis in the comment section here on YouTube or on my Instagram something along the lines of this: is the Earth flat? Tell me the truth. Why are you lying about the Earth being flat or not? And it's surprising to me because I've watched some videos about people who believe the Earth is flat. I have some time sometimes on these 15-hour flights during my rest period. I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube or Netflix. Anyway, I watch a lot of that stuff, and I found it interesting to find out that there were some famous and very wealthy people who believed that the Earth was flat. At one time, Shaq, as you guys all know, thought that the Earth was flat, and then he said it was a joke. I don't know. Kyrie Irving apparently is somebody that believes that the Earth is flat. I don't know if it's an NBA thing. Either way, I get asked about it all the time, and I thought, you know what? Let's talk about this. The Flat Earth Army, or the people who believe that the Earth is flat, believe that this is what the Earth looks like. This is the map that they use. I've been shown it by several different people, and this is what it shows in the documentaries as what the Earth looks like. In these documentaries that I watched, I've seen several different strategies from them to try to prove how and why the Earth is flat, and with lasers and all kinds of different things. Nothing that really made a lot of sense to me, or no one like Neil deGrasse Tyson talking, explaining how it's possible. I haven't really seen anything, but I have a much simpler option. Now, I've met people that believe the Earth is flat. I was at somebody's house once, and this guy was hanging out, and the girl goes, "Hey, by the way, this guy believes the Earth is flat," and then just walked off. And I thought, well, this is going to be an interesting conversation, and I'm always interested to hear somebody, and I don't want to invalidate their opinion, but I'm always interested to hear why they think something is a certain way. So I asked him a lot of different questions. Now, the main thing that he wanted to show me was, and he was interested because I was a pilot, but he wanted to show me that, look, on these FlightAware or these apps where you track flights, you can see that it's curved here. You guys are flying in a curve. But on my Earth, where it's all flat, you're actually going in a straight line. And everybody knows the shortest distance between 2 points is a flat line. Now, of course, I asked him things like, how is it the North Pole goes for weeks without having sun? And he didn't really have an explanation for that. He did pull up some videos that looked like some dude in his basement making some videos, but I mean, I'm a pilot and I make videos in hotel rooms, so I mean, I can't really judge. I have a way to all the flat earthers out there to prove once and for all whether that your map is right or it is completely wrong. And I've seen you do a lot of different tests, and you guys have spent a lot of money, and this will probably be cheaper once you average it all out. You'll notice here on their map, Antarctica is kind of like a border. Now, this flat earth guy that I talked to, what he told me was Antarctica is just a very, very high wall, and he also mentioned to me that planes have never flown over Antarctica, which is not true. But he essentially said it's just a very, very high wall that is basically where the end of the Earth is, and it's a conspiracy between the governments around the world and a few other people to make us believe that the Earth is round.
So much makes sense to me now.
Now, I was surprised when I saw some of these flat Earth conventions that they have. There are hundreds of people there, and there seem like some pretty wealthy and intelligent people. And I'm always happy to be proven wrong, and I'm the type of guy that I like to be proven something before I believe it. So I'm going to give you all an option to prove whether your Earth is exactly like you describe it or not. Very simple. Before I explain to you how this theory can be verified or not, I want to explain two things about aviation. One, pilots take safety very, very seriously. There is something on our aircraft that will alert us if we are going to hit a mountain. It's a ground proximity warning system, which means if we're in a plane and we're flying towards a mountain or a wall or something like that that's going to cause us to crash, our system will tell us, hey, you're about to hit something. Now, there's a radar there as well that we can use for weather tracking. And so if that radar is hitting a mountain, it's going to be red. It's going to tell us, don't fly into that. The reason I say that is because flat earthers believe that the perimeter of the Earth is Antarctica, and it's one huge, massive wall. I haven't spent all these years working on this amazing body to fly into a wall in Antarctica. Here's the plan. At my airline, we have mostly cargo aircraft, but we have several 747s that are in a passenger configuration. We have some that are more into a first class passenger configuration, meaning there's a lot more first class seats, and we have some that are just in a more coach configuration, meaning you can fit a lot more people in there. I put some stories up there on my Instagram, but usually when we're transporting people, it's usually the military or VIPs, so I'm not allowed to show very much of what and who I'm transporting. But I thought, all right, let's get a bunch of flat earthers together that you get at your conventions. You can sell some tickets. Hey, you can even make some profit on it. It doesn't really matter to me, but you can charter this aircraft and go anywhere you want to go. If you choose my airline to charter the 747 from, I will volunteer to fly that aircraft, and we can all be Christopher Columbus for a few days. I've even come up with a basic flight plan of where to go so you can prove or disprove your theory. We'll start off here in Miami, and we'll fly down to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Obviously, this will have to happen when COVID is all done, but that gives you some time to plan and sell tickets. Now, we'll get down there. It's roughly like an 8 or 9 hour flight, just depending on weather and things like that. We'll get down there, and we could take a day or two of a vacation down there in Buenos Aires. It's a pretty cool city. I've been there a bunch, and you can explore the city, and then we'll go from Buenos Aires down to Melbourne, Australia. Now, as many of the Flat Earth Army people know, there are things like FlightAware where you can track a flight. You'll have the flight number, the tail number, and all those types of things. So the people who aren't on the flight will be able to track the flight and see where it's going. So they'll be able to see it leaving Miami down to Buenos Aires and Buenos Aires down to Melbourne. They'll be able to track that flight in real time and see everything. As well, you're more than welcome to bring a compass on board. You can see the direction that we're going once we take off from Miami. You'll see that we're headed south and all of those things. But I have more options to help you prove your theory. First, if we were to go from Buenos Aires to go to Melbourne, based off of your map, we would have to fly all the way up, back through America, over part of Canada, some of Asia, and then through the north part of Australia to get all the way down to the south part in the regular global world of Australia, which is where Melbourne is. That means it would be about 3 times as long. I'm just guessing based off of looking at your map, about 3 times the amount of flight time, so roughly 27 hours. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, well, the government could lie and make it look like on the computer that you're really going a different direction as part of a big scam. And Kelsi, you look like you're maybe part of the government. But I swear, I'm not. So here's what I would do if I were you to help further prove your point of the direction of flight that we're going. Have some of your people that are in Argentina, have them go and see the direction that the plane goes once we take off. They can be there on the ground, and of course, I advise that we fly during the day, and that is to A, help prove your point, and B, because I hate waking up in the middle of the night to go to work. So if we take off in the daytime, you can have some people there in Buenos Aires see the direction the flight we go. They can get some telescopes. They can watch the plane take off going south. You guys will have your compasses. You can see the direction that we're going. And if you put some people down further down on the bottom towards Patagonia, there in Argentina, then you can have some people there see the direction that the plane is going. And they'll be able to track that we are indeed headed south. Now, the only people even further south, like Antarctica, are probably going to be scientists, and I'm guessing none of them believe the Earth is flat, so they're probably not going to want to help you, but that's okay. Because what you can also do is put some people on the north side of Australia to see where we come from. So if you have people that are very far north of Melbourne, you can have them track and look up the sky and see if a plane is coming that way, as well as some people that are in Melbourne or south there in Australia to look to see the direction of flight of where we're coming from. So you will have the compasses for the people on the plane. You'll have some people on the ground seeing the direction of flight you're going, and you can see where we take off in Argentina. We would have to fly all the way over the top to the other end of the Earth, which would be way outside the flight range of a 747. But as I'm planning it, we're going to go off the side of Antarctica, down and around the other side, and we'll end up in Melbourne. Now, I have met some flight attendants who think the Earth is flat, which is a little surprising to me, but okay. And apparently there's a pilot or two, and I never met them, that believe the Earth is flat. No pilot has ever told me that, but I've talked to some people who've met some pilots that said they believe that the Earth is flat. So all of you are welcome to come. Not fly the plane, but you're welcome to come as a passenger. Once we get into Melbourne, Australia, I suggest we have a couple days there. It's a really cool city. I have some few friends that are Aussies that are out there. Happy to go have some beers with them. And then we'll go from Melbourne out to LA. Now that will also look slightly curved on the Earth and on your Earth. It will maybe appear like a straight line. I haven't seen how it lays out on your Earth. But Either way, we can finish a trip in Los Angeles and then everybody can go home from there. So at the next big Flat Earth convention, I suggest someone like Mark Sargent, who is one of the original Flat Earth people, present this as an option to prove or disprove that at least that the map that they have is not accurate, or there is something wrong with the overall theory, because they'll be able to, again, be on the plane with a compass, people on the ground verifying the direction of flight, and then see them come out the other side there in Australia and land in Melbourne in not 24 to 27 hours. For those of you who are wondering and are flat earthers and are wondering the exact flight time of what it would be on your Earth, we generally cruise our aircraft at around 8.4, maybe 8.5. That's Mach decimal 8.4 or 8.5. And the fastest we can go at all is 0.92. So that's the fastest the plane can go, and that's not even at the altitudes that you're going to want to fly at, but that's the fastest the plane can go. So it's not a supersonic aircraft. It does not go any faster than that. So there, with those numbers, you can plan off of whatever the nautical mile distance is off of your Earth. You can see how long that flight would be, and then you'll see how long it is when you're on our aircraft flying over there. Please post this on any Flat Earth page. I would love to have you guys on the aircraft. We have a nice locked door that you'll have to stay behind.
I want to fly the plane!
A lot of times I've talked about when people are boarding, I usually stand on the stairs to go up into the upper deck. I usually stand there and say hi to people, whether it's VIP people or military people. I usually stand there. I don't know, I just like to see who's coming on board the aircraft. So if you end up charting with us and my airline lets me fly that aircraft, then you'll see me and we'll do the whole trip together.